C tutorial on how to generate random numbers. This is advanced level computer science. We're going to begin by using the hash include standard input output.h. This is to use the printf and scanf, and we're going to use hash include standard library. This is to use general inbuilt function, and we're going to use this new function called this new library called hash include time.h. This is to be able to use time as the seed to generate a random number. And we're going to start by defining or declaring a variable called number. Next, we're going to use this function called srun to be able to call the time. And we want the value of the time to be new or unique each time you run it. So I'm going to make it null. See, right? So I'm going to use this srun function to call the time, and I want that the value that is to be generated should be null, should be new. You see, each time I'm running the program, so that that time value there will be the random number that will be generated each time I'm running it. And I'm going to use this function run. I will now store the random number. I'll store the random number into this variable called number. I'll store the random number into this. So here I'm going to call the number. Maybe the random number or the time that was generated was 1000. So 1000 now will be stored in this variable called number. And now obviously I have to print f. I need to print the number. So it will be percentage %d, the place value for integer, percentage %d. I want it to be on the new line, and then now is the number. I want to display the number. So what this program basically does is that I have declared a variable called number, and I've used this inbuilt function called srun to call the time, the time that has elapsed since 1st January 1971. So this function will be able to display the number of seconds that have been elapsed since 1st January 1971. And now I want it to be new or unique anytime I am running the program. The next thing is that I'll call this srun function. So I'm going to call it the srun function. This run function now will now display me that value, that time value that was generated here, and the value now will be stored in this variable called number, or it will be assigned to this variable called number. The next thing is that I need to print whatever is in this variable called number, and I've done it here. So I'm going to build it and run it. So when you build it and run, you see this is the time, this is the number of seconds that have elapsed since the 1st of January 1971 till now. So if I run it again, you see the number of seconds have changed. It was previously this, now it is this. So if I run again, anytime I run, a new value is generated. See, a new value generated each time I run it. But now, how do I make this? How do I write the program to be able to display a random value, maybe between 0 and 10. Oh, okay. How can I write a program to display random numbers less than 10? How do I do it? To be able to write that program, when I'll come here now, I'll need to divide the number by 10 and display the remainder. You see, this is modulo 10. So I'm going to divide the number by 10 and display the remainder. In this case, it's going to present to me random numbers that are less than 10, excluding 10. You see, right? So it's going to be from 0 to 9. I'll build and run. See, in the first case, it has given me 9. It has generated the number 9. Okay. If I run it again, it has generated the number 0. And then if I run again, it has generated the number 7. So anytime I'm going to run this program, it's going to generate a random number less than 10 as I work. So it works the same for every number. If I want the program to generate me a random number between maybe 0 and 48. So I'm just going to I'll divide the number by 48 and I'll display the remainder. If I build and run, it has generated me 2 this first time. If I run again, it has generated me 3. Let me run again. That generated me 32. And let me run the last time. If I run again, it has generated me 47. Perfect. So, but how am I going to do if I want to generate a number, let us say between 62 and maybe 94? How do I write a program to generate me a random number between 62 and that's within a particular range? In this case, I'm going to come here and I'll put a new variable called upper minus lower. Upper minus lower plus 1. So upper. So I'll divide this random number by this upper minus lower plus 1, and then all together I'm going to do it plus the lower, and I'm going to add it plus the lower value, where I'm going to come up here and I will declare the variable called upper, which is equals to, no, I'm going to begin by the lower which is 62, the lower value which is 62, and the upper which is equals to 94. Perfect. In this case, the lower value is 62 and the upper is 94. So it's going to take 94 minus 62 plus 1. You see, right? Plus the lower, which is 62. And it's going to take the random value here, divide by this, by all of this, and then now it's going to display me the remainder. And that remainder must be within the range of, it must be in between 62 and 94. So let us build and run. Now it has, in this case, that generated me this value 84. So if I run again, that generated the value 92. Close it. If I run again, that generated the number 73. If I run again, it's going to generate me a new random number 94. And as you keep running, at every run, the random number is going to be changing, because now you have this value here called new. So this is a program on how to generate random numbers. Run random numbers within a particular range or less than a particular number. See, right? So thank you for listening, and see you in the next lesson.